So in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at motion and speed as part of the Edexcel IGCSE Physics course. So in terms of learning objectives, by the end of today's lesson, you should understand and be able to use distance time graphs and recall and use the following relationship. The average speed equals the distance moved divided by the time taken for that object. Okay, so what is speed? Average speed is the distance an object travels over a certain amount of time. Now in physics, the unit we use for speed is meters per second. Okay, so you've got to be careful that you're using the correct units. Okay, because the units for distance are meters and the units for time are seconds. Now you can rearrange this equation to also find the distance of an object and the time an object takes to travel a certain distance, because distance will equal the speed of the object multiplied by the time it takes to travel, or that the time it takes to travel will equal the distance of the object the distance the object has traveled over a certain amount of time divided by its speed. Okay, and you can use that equation triangle to help you if you require it. So in terms of converting speeds, because remember the units for the speed have to be meters per second, well, if you have it in kilometers per hour, for example, well, 1,000 meters will equal 1 kilometer, okay, because kilo is 1,000. So 1 hour actually equals 3,600 seconds, okay, because an hour consists of 60 minutes and every minute consists of 60 seconds, so 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds in an hour. Therefore, 1 kilometer an hour will be 1,000 meters divided by 3,600 seconds, which will be 0.28 meters per second. Or another way to put that is 1 meter per second equals 3.6 kilometers per hour. Now, another important thing you have to do is be able to plot distance time graphs. Okay, so if you're given information of the distance an object travels over a certain series of time points, then you plot the distance on the y-axis, as you can see from the image here, or this graph here, and the time goes on the x-axis, okay, and you get a nice, hopefully straight plot, depending on the information that you're given in the exam. And what does this plot will actually mean? Well, the gradient, which is the change in the distance over change in time, will be steep if the object is traveling very fast, it has a high speed, and it's going to be a lot shallower, this red line here, if it is traveling a lot slower, relatively. Okay, so the gradient or the slope increases with speed, an important thing you have to know. So here's an example here. We have an object traveling a certain distance over a certain amount of time. So to work out the gradient, you just do the change in the distance over the change in time. So if you look from the graph, it'll be traveling 150 meters. Okay, so you go up the y-axis 150 meters, and then you go across to the x-axis and where it falls down. Okay, so that will be in 10 seconds. So it travels 150 meters in 10 seconds. That is the gradient. It is 150 divided by 10 seconds, or 15 meters per second, which gives you the speed. And next lesson, we'll look at a special speed, which is called velocity.